Greetings, wizards. Welcome to the Papercraft Wizard channel. My name is Kelly, and I'm so excited you're here. In this video, we'll be creating the back inside cover of our Charmed mini album. Let's get started. Our first piece of cardstock measures 2.5 inches by 8.5 inches. We'll score this at 1/2 inch on both short sides and one long side. This will be our small pocket. Our next piece of cardstock measures 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches. We'll score this at 1/2 inch on both short sides and one long side. And this is our middle pocket. For our large and final pocket, we have a piece of cardstock that measures 4.5 by 8.5 inches, and we'll score that at 1/2 inch on both short sides and one long side. Now we'll miter our corners. Next, let's fold at all of the score lines. Now I'm going to take our large pocket and add adhesive just to that bottom tab, and then we'll add that to the back cover. We want to place this pocket near the bottom with only about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inches from the bottom. Once I have that where I'd like it, I use my bone folder to make sure it's nice and secure. Now we can add liquid adhesive to the sides of our pocket and adhere that in place. And next we'll adhere our middle pocket. We'll start with just adding adhesive to that bottom tab and adhering that down. Before we adhere the side tabs, we want to add the decorative paper for our large pocket. This piece of decorative paper measures 3 7/8 inches by 7 7/8 inches. And I've inked up the edges to give it that finished look. So I'm dry fitting it, making sure that I have it in the right spot. And now I'll add liquid adhesive to the side tabs. I'll make sure that's in the right spot. And then I'll add liquid adhesive to the entire back of the decorative paper, as well as the back of those tabs, and then we'll adhere it in place. For our small pocket, we'll follow the same process that we did for our middle pocket. Our medium piece of decorative paper for our medium pocket measures 2 7/8 inches by 7 7/8 inches. We'll add our liquid adhesive and adhere that in place. Our small decorative piece measures 1 7/8 inches by 7 7/8 inches. We'll add our liquid adhesive and adhere this in place. Next, we'll work on a folio. I'm using my camera stamp to indicate that a photo may go here. This folio measures 7 1/8 inches by 10 1/4 inches, and we'll score that at 5 1/8 inches on the 10 1/4 inch side. And we'll add a 7 inch by 5 inch piece of decorative paper to the front of this folio. Next, we'll create a tag that can hold a 5x7 photo. The base cardstock for this tag measures 7 5/8 inches by 5 1/8 inch, and the decorative cardstock measures 7 1/2 inches by 5 inches. I'm using a corner punch. I'll use the scalloped punch for the top of the tag and the rounded corners for the bottom of the tag. And I'll ink up the edges to give it a nice finished look. I'll add my liquid adhesive and adhere this in place. And we'll add another piece of decorative cardstock measuring 7 1/2 by 5 inches. For this decorative paper, I used a bunch of the scraps and strips from the collection and adhered them onto a thin piece of cardstock. We'll add our liquid adhesive and adhere that in place. If you're enjoying this video, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and ring that bell for notifications. Now I'm going to use a pen and make a mark right in the center of the top of that tag, about a 1/4 inch in, so that I can add any hole reinforcer. Now I'm just going to punch that hole with my 3/16 inch hole punch. We'll add our eyelet and crimp that in place. Throughout this album, I use the beautiful ribbon that Scrap and Create includes with the collection. I also used all the charms they include with their collection. I'm cutting 3 pieces of ribbon that are approximately 5.5 inches in length. I'll take a lighter and singe the ends of the ribbon to ensure that it doesn't fray. Now I have 2 pairs of pliers, and I'm going to add jump rings to my charm. When opening and closing jump rings, we want to twist them into place and not pull them apart. Now I'm lining up all of my ribbon, and I'm going to fold it in half long ways and then kind of roll it together. And then we'll slide our charm on. We'll put that through the ring. Create our little loop. Pull the ribbon through. And tighten up those little pieces. I'm going to add this cute little piece of chipboard that says Charmed to the center of our small pocket. I'll add my liquid adhesive and adhere that in place. And now we'll add some flat back charms to the little circle spots on each end of the charmed chipboard piece. If you have an idea for a project you'd like to see, we'd love to hear about it in the comments. Now our pockets are complete, and we can add all of the little extras that we made. Our folio, our large tag, our small folio, and a couple of journaling cards. And there are still plenty of room in these pockets for additional photos and other items. And here's what we have so far. Our cover is complete inside and out. In our next video, we'll begin working on our pages. If you've enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and ring that bell for notifications. Thank you for watching. Happy paper crafting.